Good morning. How's everybody today?
Good, thank you. It's Wellness Wednesday on KTDY. And Dr. Kevin from the Bright Wellness Institutes of Acadiana. Now, y'all are messing me up. Why did y'all just flip-flop headphones?
We're experimenting today.
Yeah.
So you want some new ones, and you might buy the ones
Yeah, I'm testing out his to see how I like them.
So now you're wearing her Sonys, and you're wearing his
Bose. Yes.
Gee, I wonder which ones are going to sound better. The ones that the radio station provided.
No, I bought those.
Oh, you bought those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Radio station provides.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Kevin, what's up, dude?
Well, we went to our functional medicine program this weekend in Las Vegas, and we made it back from that. So, great weekend in Vegas, and we didn't go sightsee, we didn't go to the Strip, we didn't gamble, but we were so busy with our functional medicine program that our brains were overloaded the first day. So, but it was quite an amazing. I mean, the technology that they're coming out with, and the technology they're using to get sick people well, it's just awe-inspiring. I mean, I'm so amazed by it. And for those of you that have been following us on Facebook, we had a pretty scary flight back from Dallas.
Yes,
What happened?
Well, we were flying in from Vegas to Dallas Sunday night, and they had that huge storm, and they had tornadoes and severe weather in the area. So when we got to Dallas Field, the airport was closed. So we were circling over the airport above the storm for a while, waiting on the field to open so we could land. And it opened a few times, but we couldn't get down in time because the tornadoes kept popping up. Tornadoes were all around that area. And so we circled and circled until I guess we were getting a little low on fuel. And so the pilot was looking for an alternative field to go to, but they were all under storms too. So finally they opened the field just long enough for us to try to get down through the storm and land. And the pilot came on and literally he said, the field, they opened the field for us. We're going to try to land it. I'm going to tell you this one time, tighten your seatbelt. We all looked at each other like, oh no, wow.
Oh, he means business.
So we as we headed down through the storm, of course the plane was bucking all over the place, and the plane got struck by lightning, lost the right engine. And that was pretty scary. And so,
what did that feel like?
Well, we heard this huge flash and pop, and you felt it in your seat. You'd tell there was something hit the plane. And I heard the right engine shut off. I knew that we lost an engine, and I kind of didn't know if I wanted to look out the window and see if it was on fire or not. But I couldn't quite see it. I looked out I was on the left side of the plane, so I looked out and I couldn't quite see the engine from the windows that they had open. And so finally we made it on the runway and came to a complete stop, and
everybody applauded.
Yeah, it was
I bet.
it was a huge cheers.
Were there
and
like
applause.
fire trucks and everything waiting for you guys?
No, I guess they looked at it and knew that it wasn't on fire, so they didn't. I didn't see any. I guess they had them on standby, but I guess they didn't. Since the engine didn't catch on fire, fortunately, I guess they didn't.
I want to ask you now. After you go through something like that, does it kind of change you a bit? I mean, are you walking around different today, knowing that life is precious and can be gone tomorrow?
Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
A little bit, maybe?
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I always feel like that anyway. But yeah, I guess so. You're a little bit more thankful for, for being on the ground today.
Yeah. Look, tomorrow's not promised. You gotta do good things now.
But I'm still glad we went because this functional medicine program was absolutely
What hotel did you stay in?
Amazing. We stayed in a little resort there in Henderson called the Sundown.
I've been
Sunset or Sundown, I think. Yeah. So it was pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun little place.
Off the beaten path. It kept y'all out of the casino. Well, there's a casino there.
There is. Yeah. I'm not much of a gambler, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like giving my money away that easy. So
is that like the rustic kind of place? I know you were here to talk about wellness, but is that rustic kind of place, kind of like kind of rustic, kind of country feel to it? Yeah, I've
got
been
a little
there.
age on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I spent about a month there one weekend. I did. Don't tell the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know you were excited about this functional medicine long before you went to Las Vegas, and I'm guessing you're even more fired up now.
I am. When we see what they're doing with the advancements in natural solutions to get sick people well, it's just amazing. And the way the functional medicine, when you really boil it down, functional medicine means, and this is called beyond functional medicine because there's things that are really beyond what even functional medicine is doing, but it's how do we get the cells to function and do what they're supposed to do. So it's treating patients on a cellular level. Because when you think about it, there's the person, and then that person's made up of tissues, and those tissues are made up of organs, and then those organs are made up of cells. And so if you boil all of that down, it's what are the cells actually doing? And it seems to me that the cell really needs four things. It needs, are the cells low in energy? Are they low in nutrition? Are they low in oxygen? Or are they full of waste products? And if the cell has those four things, it's going to function better. Normally cells malfunction because of one of those things, either that they don't have energy, they don't have the proper nutrition, they don't have oxygen, or they are full of waste products. And so when we get back from break, we're going to talk about like how we decipher each one of those. And really the most important one of those that people suffer with now is the energy part. Most people are burning more energy than their body is able to make. And so I'm going to explain that a little bit more after the break and show you why and how we can tell if that's the case and what we can do about it. So right after break, we're going to get into this low energy thing. That's it. So when we boil most disease processes down to their underlying issue, the main one that keeps popping up as we research this is a lack of energy in the cell. And so cells run off of energy just like your cell phone does. Your cell phone has a battery pack that gives your cell phone energy to do its processes. And so your cells kind of run the same way. A thyroid cell needs energy to make thyroid hormone. A stomach cell needs energy to make stomach acid and so on. But when we take a very close look at this and what are the cells actually doing, and this is something that I think everybody can relate to, is that chronic disease on an energetic level means that the body is expending more energy than it's making. And so I think that if you ask 10 people on the street, do you feel like your body is expending more energy than you're making? Most people would say yes. Well, yeah, that is kind of how I feel. So we're burning energy faster than our bodies can make it. It's kind of like a bank account. If you constantly spend more money than you're depositing in your account, you're going to be running on a deficit. And so same thing with the energy in your body. If you're constantly using more energy than you're putting in your system, you're going to be running on an energy deficit, and your cells in your body is not going to be able to function and heal and work as good as it possibly could. And then sickness and disease is going to be more likely to be able to take over. And the reason that this functional medicine program is literally turning so many lives around that have these terrible chronic diseases is the first thing that we do is that we add energy into the system. And we have several ways that we can do that. And it's a little bit hard to explain exactly, how and why without all of my charts and graphs there. But if you take someone that's been unhealthy for years and they're drained and their body's been running on an energy deficit for years, and then you add energy back into the system in a very real way, the person will finally begin to feel good again and healing can begin. And so a lot of this functional medicine is how we add energy back into the system. And so that's kind of the first step that with this functional medicine is we take someone that their systems are literally drained, that their body is so drained and they're so low of energy that healing has basically stopped. And you add energy back into the system, it creates a spark. The body starts to function, the cells start to work, kind of like when you recharge your cell phone, and the body starts to begin to heal and go through its functions.
You should work on me. I could be your prototype.
Yeah.
It's just being tired, one of the prime indicators that you need help.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you ask somebody, do you feel like you're just low on energy? Like,
yes.
Everybody does.
Yes.
And so when you're low on energy, your body's not going to heal. Your body's just barely getting by. It's barely existing. It takes extra energy to be healthy and heal. And so when you start to add energy back in someone's systems, they really start to create that spark that's going to heal them, and they're going to start to function again.
But to do that, do I have to eat only carrots and wear an oxygen mask? I mean, what do I do?
No, there's a series of steps that we go through to really add energy back in your system, and there's really several ways. And sometime when I have a little more time on the show, I'll go through each one of these. But there's 5 ways that we're losing energy. And so adding energy back into the system, we use things like, pulse electromagnetic fields and light energy. And it's just basically it's adding energy back into your body so that your body can heal itself.
And you do all this at the office?
Uh-huh. Yep. But the first step is you just have to see where the energy is being lost. Are you toxic?
You know how many
Do you have-
people listening to this right now are thinking, I'm always tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee you.
It's
if you ask-
epidemic, really.
Yeah, if you ask 10 people, do you feel like your body is losing energy faster than it's making it? Absolutely. So what the functional medicine program does is change that around. Like get you to get your body producing energy so that you're not running at an energy deficit all the time. And so that's one of the first things that we do. Now, next week, I'm going to be announcing a really big new initiative. We're going to start a program on diabetes. This is something that is affecting the health of literally millions and millions of people. So we're going to be discussing what's happening with diabetes and what we can do about it to try to help people. And so I want everybody to set their calendar on this now. Call people that have diabetes and tell them to mark their calendar on next week's show. Set it on your phone. Whatever you have to do. We've developed a diabetes support program that is really, really exciting. And I'm telling you guys, this is the real deal here. There's never been anything like this in Acadiana before.
So it's not going to be as easy and simple as put down the ding-dongs.
No, no, that's the first step. But no, there's so much more to it. Getting your cells to function and to work normally is what sort of diabetes is all about. And so we're going to be discussing that in great detail on next week's show. But I'm telling you guys, this is the real deal. Anybody out there who's having problems with diabetes, tell them to tune in. Now, here's the other thing. People have a tendency to go, well, no, I have diabetes, but it's being managed. My blood sugar's fine, so I'm healthy. You can take somebody with diabetes and ask them if they're healthy, and because they're managing their numbers, they think they're okay. And that's not okay. That's managing the decline of your health. That's managing a sickness. That is not the same thing as getting you healthy again. And so we have a tendency as Americans to think, well, my numbers are okay, so everything's fine. It's not fine. Diabetes is the number one cause of blindness. People are losing limbs. People are having to have their legs amputated, all because of diabetes. And so don't just fall into that trap of, well, my numbers are okay, so I must be fine with it. That is not okay. You still want to, while you're managing your numbers, you still want to see what can be done to actually help you long term. And so call your family and friends and tell them to tune in to next week's show. It's going to be called Diabetes, the Truth and the Myth. So, so don't miss next week's show. It's going to be really exciting. I'm super pumped up about it.
All righty. Facebook, you're there, right?
Yeah, at the Bright Wellness Institutes. Follow us on Facebook and join us in there. So we have a lot of fun things. We're always posting new interesting facts on there.
All right.
So join us on Facebook.
Bryant Wellness Institutes of Acadiana, Dr. Kevin Wellness Wednesday. Thank you.
Thanks,
buddy.
guys.
All right.